How are y'all doing today? I'm just having some chamomile tea. Ooh, with honey, which is like one of my favorite things in the world. Oh, seriously perfect. So, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for coming back through. We have loads to discuss. It's a lot of stuff happening this week. I hope that y'all had a good last week. Last week was pretty crazy for me. But you know, pushing through, lots of stuff going on. We're going to be doing a solar plexus meditation for this week. This week is starting off really, really strong. We are in an Aries moon right now. So there's a lot of that warrior energy for this week. Okay. Is that, you know, passion energy for this week is very bold, is very in your face, is very like, let's go. I got things to do. I got things to say. I got, you know, I'm a very action oriented, like the cardinal energy is at a forefront for this week, starting right off for this week. So there's definitely a lot of things going on, and we have a lot to talk about this week on a collective level. It's a very important week because we do have the inauguration this week, and you know, I literally just read that DC's like on lockdown, like as far as security. If you're trying to get into Washington DC right now, good luck. You should have gotten there last week. And I feel like this is gonna be something, this is gonna be one of those weeks that, especially as we start transitioning from Capricorn season into Aquarius Aquarius season, it's gonna be one of those very powerful, like switching energies kind of vibe. And it's almost like it's gonna have the similar energy to what happened between December, where Jupiter and Saturn were going into Aquarius, and that week that it went into Aquarius, like just kind of felt very, very kind of abrupt, and very like, whoa, like it just kind of happened. This week is going to have a similar vibe to it. So this is going to be one of those weeks that we have to be ready. We have to be focused. We have to be really in alignment with ourselves. I kind of like that for this week specifically, we are starting off with an Aries moon, even though that a lot of people can misuse that energy and kind of in really, really chaotic ways, as we have seen in the past. People using Aquarian energy, that revolutionary energy, to do some really bad things with it. So it has a give and take, and there's a lot of things that ultimately we have to make sure that we are strictly in alignment, so we're not all over the place, so we're not getting caught up in certain problems, certain issues, certain dramas of the world, and just trying to do the best that we can for ourselves, because I do feel like it's just one of those times where anything can kind of happen, anything can go down, and then we're going to have to kind of deal with the consequences. And right now I'm just setting up Instagram so they can join us. There we go. And right now I feel like this week with this shift is something that we have to make sure that we personally are centered, that we personally are in alignment with our solar plexus energy, because our solar plexus energy is specifically all about our willpower, our action, our movements, the things that we initiate, how we bring things to fruition. Every single step you take, every direction, whether it be, oh, I want to go to the kitchen, cook some food. Okay, well, guess what is fueling that intention? Your solar plexus is. Your solar plexus is that core, okay? And it's that core that we feed as well. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about that feeding, with that food that you're eating. What is it that you're fueling? You're fueling your stomach. You're fueling your solar plexus with energy. We eat to consume the energy of whatever that food is so that we can continue to keep ourselves in power. Okay, it's the same way as you would charge your phone, your computer, whatever. You would do that so you can continue to use it. It is the same exact way, okay, that we go through using our solar plexus energy by feeding it, continuously feeding it different foods, different like intentions, different, especially coming from our crown, from our throat chakra, things that we say we're going to do, things that we don't do that we say we're going to do, all of these kind of things. How we fuel our solar plexus matters. And you're going to see how the way that certain people have been fueling their own solar plexus for the past couple of years has been very, very toxic, very chaotic, and very disruptive in many ways, because a lot of the people who speak of doing a lot of revolutionary things often are trying to impose their own solar plexus energy onto other people, whether that be a good or bad thing, by the way. So you could literally be up in the mountains living, minding your damn business, not having anything to do, and then you'll have somebody come in like, hey, you have to be a part of this, you have to do this, you have to do that. And then you're just like, what? And then you also have people who want to forcefully take power to control others because they get off on that buildup of that solar plexus energy when you're having not only power over yourself to do things, but power over people so they can do things as well. It is a very power hungry and power mindset kind of time, especially when you look at, you know, the handing off the presidency from one person to another. You're handing off power from one person to another. And if you're very egotistical, like, you know, Trump is, then that's something that's very hard for you to do, because you are very egotistical. You already got, you know, calibrated and acclimated to power being given and having certain benefits from power in the way that you have for a certain amount of time. And this is also why dictators have a really hard time with releasing any power, and they want to maintain it as long as humanly possible, only trusting certain aspects of their handing it down to maybe even like a family member or something, because they don't trust anybody else to be able to control or hold the power the way that they would choose or want to. And so the way people will misuse that solar plexus energy in order to kind of impose a lot of chaotic and just disruption onto the world, onto others' mental peace, onto others' benefits, onto others' like owned world, owned bubbles, is very, very, very scary, because some people get off on it. And so we have to make sure that this week we are in alignment with our own solar plexus, so that when others try to tell us that they are correct and that they are that they're right, that they're what they believe and why they believe it, and all of these kind of things, and they swear that they're completely convinced that they are correct in every aspect and every notion. All of those things matter. Those ideas, those intentions, somebody wanting to control you, that is a form of attack, okay, on a spiritual level, because that is a spiritual attack when someone wants to control you in the masses, just you being a part of the masses that badly. Those kind of tactics and those kind of power struggles are a really big deal, and having to deal with that within society. So we do have to talk about our own solar plexus and the status and the state of our solar plexus, and can we deal with this energy, with others imposing certain things onto us versus us being able to lead our own lives. So I'm going to go ahead and start shuffling for the mudras for this meditation, and then we're going to get started. Okay, so what mudras should we be using for the solar plexus meditation that we are about to do? What mudras should be using? But, oh, hold on. And of course, this would be the one that would come out. And of course, okay. What mudras should we be using? Okay, so got 3 different ones. So let us talk about it. The first one is, no, well, the first one is this one. The first one is free flow of vital energy. Okay, free flow of vital energy. And I do recommend, if you want to do this one for the meditation, that you actually, if you have a plant, you can do this as well in order to connect and ground yourself a little bit more. I find that using a plant when you're using this specific mudra helps a lot to just keep yourself grounded. So if you want to go grab, you know, your local friendly plant right now, you can go ahead and do so. And it says, attune to the free flow of vital energy. I move with the rhythms of life smoothly and easily. Okay, that's what it looks like. That is what it looks like. The next one is awakening the inner witness. Okay, and it says, through the gradual release of limiting beliefs, I continue my journey with greater clarity. Okay, awakening the inner witness. That's really powerful right there. This one is really powerful right there, because I do feel like a lot of the reasons why, especially when it comes to solar plexus work, willpower work, ego work, a lot of the reasons why a lot of people don't make moves for themselves is because they limit themselves up here. They allow themselves to get cloudy up here, and then it clouds up the rest of the chakras, including the solar plexus, to the point that you may say that you're going to do something, but you don't actually end up doing it because you're limiting your action, you're limiting your perspective, you're setting yourself up for failure to this capacity. So it does create a form of chaos that's definitely not beneficial to our energy, to our space, to our lives. It's just not, it's not good. The next one, and I'm not surprised to see this one in here, is global healing. Okay, and it says, bathe in the crystal light of healing, experience the sacred wholeness of my being. Wow. Global healing. And I do feel like this is a really, really important one to do now. And I'm not surprised that this came out for this specific meditation, because I do feel like when it comes to our willpower, again, when it comes to the collective, we're in a very, like, we're in the age of Aquarius, we're in a very Aquarian time and transition for the next couple of years is going to be very Aquarius focused. Aquarius energy has been very much on hibernation. A lot of people have gotten away doing a lot of crazy stuff, and now is a time to correct a lot of different things, but you're going to see the birth and of those people who want to use the energy of revolution in different ways. And so even though we might not agree with these people, even though we might think some of these people are crazy, brainwashed, doing all of this kind of stuff, we want to make sure that we are still praying and connecting our core to the global healing, because people still need that. People still need that aspect of us, aspect of humanity, where we're like, wait, I don't agree with the things that we have been doing to this world. I don't agree with the way that we treat each other. I don't agree with the certain laws that affect us in such negative ways. And I am sending this healing through my core to the collective, so that we can all benefit and heal and progress and be better in the future. So those are the 3 mudras that came out. So I'm going to show you guys again. Let me just put them in order. There we go. I'm going to show you loves again. So we have, I'm going to show them to you and reread them just so you are aware. But if you already have your mudra, go ahead and pop in a heart in the comments, so that way I know that y'all is ready for the meditation. Okay, so once again, awakening the inner witness. That's what it looks like. Then we have global healing. Then we have free flow of vital energy. Okay. Okay, I see some hearts. Okay, I see a lot of hearts. Okay, cool. So we are going to go ahead and get started. So I want everybody, and I'm going to give you guys a spiel that I always give you guys. If you would like to get on your back for this, you can do so. If you would like to get into half lotus pose or full lotus pose, you can go ahead and do so as well. Whatever makes you feel comfortable, just make sure that you're holding on to the mudras as when you're doing them with your hands. As you are meditating, go ahead and get comfortable and start to focus on your breath and just start to breathe. Take deep breaths in and out. You're taking deep breaths in and deep breaths out. Sending that breath anywhere in your body that needs a little bit of extra attention. And releasing that breath out into the open. I want you to start to visualize yourself inside of a golden egg. This golden egg is divine healing energy. So you're breathing in that divine healing light. You're breathing out. Taking deep breaths in. And deep breaths out. I want you to take a deep breath in and send that breath anywhere in your body that needs a little bit of extra attention. On your next breath, I want you to bring your focus to your solar plexus. You're going to zoom in to your solar plexus. And at your solar plexus, you are going to see a door. You are going to open that door. And start to walk through the tunnel towards the light. Walking into your solar plexus chakra. I want you to take a moment to look around your solar plexus. What is it that you see? What colors do you see in your solar plexus? I want you to take a moment to ask your solar plexus what is currently blocking your willpower. I want you to hold your hands open in front of you. And into your hands, start to speak power, action, and fire until you could visibly see that fire being created in your hands. Turn your hands outward and release the blockage that has been preventing you from clearing and having a powerful, strong, healthy solar plexus. Send that fire through your hands back into your solar plexus chakra. Take a deep breath in as you feel the heat from your own flame. Take a moment to thank your solar plexus for being open to receiving your intentions for its healing and empowerment today. Take a deep breath in and start to make your way back through the tunnel, through the door, and back inside of the golden egg. Take a deep breath in. Breathing in that divine healing light. And take a deep breath out. Take one more deep breath in, sending that divine healing light anywhere in your body that needs a little bit of extra attention. Take a deep breath out. When you're ready, you can start to come back. And just let me know in the comments when you're back. How was that for you guys? I hope that was helpful. Okay, so I have a couple of unbacks. I'm back. Thank you so much. I went into a beautiful meadow with blue purple flowers and soft green grass. I saw my dear animal totem, and I'm blocking myself with insecurities and sadness. I'm telling you, it all comes from the cloud, comes from up here, and then it just leaks down into the other chakras. Back, and thank you. I got so many downloads, taking notes now. Yep. Start writing down all those messages so that way you guys can reference them back, especially throughout the week and the rest of the month, because they definitely end up being straight in alignment for the remainder of the month as well. So we have lots to talk about. So energy right now, what it's looking like. We have the sun in Capricorn, moon in Aries, Mercury is in Aquarius, Venus is in Cap, Mars is in Taurus, Jupiter and Saturn are in Aquarius, Uranus is in Taurus, Neptune is in Pisces, and Pluto is in Capricorn. Chiron is still in Aries. And this is really important, especially for Chiron, as far as it being in Aries, as it's been in Aries for a while now. Chiron is a wounded healer, and when Chiron is in Aries specifically, it can be very triggering for people who feel like they have been battling a lot for a really long time, or have to defend themselves, or have to be in like a warrior mode. And this is why we've been seeing so much tension and like anxious energy build up. A lot of people were very much um hurt by the losing within the election and all of that stuff. So it's definitely been affecting everybody on a collective level, and this is why you see a lot more of an action based reaction on a collective way. So it's important for us to be aware of that, because Aries is a cardinal sign. It is the initiator. It is the first sign that starts off the astrological journey and the astrological year. And so when you see Chiron triggering a lot of these people into action and into kind of like poking their wounds enough for them to kind of trigger action based moments and action driven issues and toxic behaviors, it's coming from that. It's coming from that kind of like fight or flight kind of thing. It's just it's a very it brings up the tension and the anxiety levels as well, because Aries is so, it can go off at any point in time. It can literally start, fighting at any point in time. Aries will come through and try to decapitate you, because it is a warrior at the end of the day, and it carries that energy. And so with this moon in Aries, there is tension, and I do feel like there's a collective tension. I do feel like there is this kind of warrior like mindset. There is this like, how do I protect myself? How do I protect my energy? How to protect myself from other people? How do I maintain my own peace? How do I, deal with, my family members being on this side of the aisle, and all of these kind of things? It can be a very much a war zone right now. And this week very much feels like it. And so because we have this beautiful Aquarius stellium, and having this Capricorn energy, and just again, we're like in that point where it's going to be the sun is going to be moving into Aquarius very, very soon. It's still going to emphasize and bring and just shine more of a light to that energy of revolution, that energy of action, that energy of society. And there are people out there that really, really believe that their point of views are the correct way to live, and that's what they want to see be brought out. So for the remainder of, honestly, I feel like until we go into Pisces season, things might kind of calm down a little bit. But I do feel like there's going to be quite a little bit of a tension moving through the months, moving forward into 2021. And so for this week, if I just looking at the cards, like it's literally all over the place. I'm looking at the after tarot for this, and we have the 7 of Cups, the 5 of Wands, okay, the 9 of Swords. We have Justice, the Page of Wands, and the 7 of Pentacles. And we have Strength. So a lot of solar plexus energy coming out this week, a lot of fiery energy, a lot of cardinal energy. We do have this Libra, just justice energy coming out. Not only talking about the imbalances that are there and present on a personal level, and on a spiritual level for us in our own personal lives, but also on a collective level, the justice that needs to take place in the legal side of things, and what's going to happen with that. And I do feel like this week, especially on a social level, there's going to be some news stories that are going to break. There are lawsuits that are going to be being filed on it officially, because I know, like I said before in past videos, New York City has been waiting to get Trump for a hot minute, but he has immunity until he leaves office. So there are some things that will be filed. Some things will be breaking news like this week, and I do feel like there's a lot of tension. I feel like a lot of people are very scared this week, especially within the midweek as we head into our inauguration. There's going to be a lot of tension. If you live in the DC area, please be very mindful. Please try to maintain your balance and your distance from others during this time, because you never know who's going to come at you sideways. This week is really has a lot of people pent up, and it almost, the way that it's coming out for this week is that there's so many different things that can go AWOL very quickly. So many different things, all of the scenarios that people have been painting, all of those things are a possibility this week. That is the way that it's looking like. All of those things is a possibility. And the way Spirit is communicating the energy is like, which one of those things is going to trigger this balance, this justice to come back? This, okay, you know what is happening right now is wrong. What you just did was wrong. How do we come back into, okay, well, this needs to be, you know, remedied. This needs to have its justice. You need to pay for what you just did. You need to have your karma for what you just did. You need to, you know, have that retribution for what you just did. There is just kind of this energy of consequences. A lot of people are definitely going to be very impulsive this week. This week it has a lot of different pressure and tensions. It has a kind of, you know, I've been waiting to kind of do the work set the intention that I needed to do. I've been waiting for this moment. I've been waiting to have the strength to make it happen. I've been waiting to bring out the resolution to this. Like, I've been waiting for the right moment to feel like I can actually set this intention and make it work and move on it the way that I need it. I do feel like a lot of people this week are going to go from a influx of feeling very much mentally exhausted and having to deal with some mental like demons and moving through pushing themselves to do the work that they need to do in order to see the results that they've been trying to get to. So it's there's definitely a lot of inner battles going on. It starts off with a cloudy kind of energy for this week. It really starts off really cloudy, and it heads into this kind of analyzation of these moments, of these kind of frustrating parts that we've been kind of having to deal with, of these kind of the issues that we have been actively kind of putting on the back burner and not, you know, actively working on them and trying to resolve so we can get kind of moving, get on the flow, keep it flowing, keep it moving, and keep pushing forward. It's almost like we've been stuck. It's like when the planets are retrograde and everybody's like making that excuse that they're not really doing anything because they feel like they're getting held back, and right now that's not necessarily the case, but they're still kind of acting like it is. It's kind of like that. It's almost like people have been making a lot of excuses for not acting on and making their lives a way that they've been wanting to create on it and build on it. And now this week is just, it's too action packed. It is way too action packed. And it's really calling us to tap into that fire. And I do feel like the fire energy of this week is coming from a sense of, okay, this has been a wound for a long time. And again, it's looking at that Chiron. This has been a wound for a long time. This has been pain, like just hurting me for a while. I haven't been able to like really focus. I know what I want to do, but I haven't been able to really focus. I haven't been able to put in the time. I feel like I'm not good enough. All of these kind of ideas and thoughts that we have been fueling into our inaction are the things that are preventing us from moving forward and having that action and being productive. This week we come in and we pull back in that strength. That's really what's happening. But this week, 1000%, I just feel it very heavily on my heart. Do not try to do too much collective anything. This week is not the week for it. There's way too much kind of tense energy and too much unexpected energy. And that's the other thing with Aquarian energy, because Uranus is very unexpected. You don't know when things is gonna hit the fan, but you know that the energy is there for it. You know that at any second, it could just switch. You know, at any second something can just go down. And because Uranus is so unexpected, and I do feel like this week, again, it just has a chaotic note. I just hope that it doesn't deal with like any type of wars or any type of like you know, battling, or, you know, people going off with their any weapons and stuff like that, because when that happens, that's when things are going to get a little bit, you know, it's almost like when you would watch those like, you know, like the high school movies when people get into a food fight, or like those episodes where people get into a food fight in the lunchroom, and it just takes that one person to hit somebody with something, and then all of a sudden everybody else is just doing the same exact thing. That is the problem. When you see someone doing something kind of negative, anybody can just quickly, abruptly jump into that and fuel that, and just, you don't even know, you wouldn't even know who started it, but you know that everybody else is getting caught up in it. And that's how it kind of, it almost goes in like a virus, and it just hits everybody at once, and everybody's being affected, everybody's reacting, everybody is pent up, everybody is just trying to get somebody else, everybody's like remembering how, oh, this person talked about me, so I'm just gonna go off on them, and just throwing food. It's like that. It's like, how are you reacting to others this week? And this week really calls for that detachment. If you want to use this week productively, I would highly connect to that energy of Aquarius, which is very much a detached energy. Okay, this is one of the things that Aquarius is rule, and I know Aquarius is like hate the, you know, having detachment being one of the things that they rule, but they really do rule it, and it is a powerful gift for them to have, and for them to thrive in, because they're such experts at detaching completely and saying, okay, I need space, because I need to look at what happens. I need to know who started this food fight, because there's something wrong here. There is a conspiracy of sorts. And there's another reason why Aquariuses are very much into documentaries, and learning about different things, understanding different perspectives, understanding why, what the cause is, the origin of things of sorts. And it's really important this week for us to try to remove ourselves from this kind of mindset where we're cloudy, where we don't understand, where we feel like we are a little bit all over the place, and we're not grounded, we're just being reactive and trying to, like, okay, well, I need this, I want this, whatever. It's almost like if again, like what was happening last year in the summertime, where BLM was doing the protesting, and white people got it into their heads that they wanted to use that movement to riot and you know, break into stores and like steal stuff, and they have them on video doing this, which is insane. And so they take an opportunity of what somebody else is doing for a different purpose to benefit themselves, and to just kind of like you know, within the cloudiness of what's going on, you will find those that will take advantage and then get away with a lot of BS in the process. And again, it's really, there's this tension, guys. There's this tension, and I feel like things will take a minute to calm down before they actually do, but there's definitely this tension. And I feel like a lot of people's kind of like worst nightmares, like they're going to have to stand up, like what they thought couldn't happen will happen this week, and that is really frustrating. Or what they've been fearing could happen definitely could happen this week in the most unexpected ways. And that's the scary part. Okay, what's the energy for this week? What is the energy for this week? Okay, so you see, this is what I mean. So the first one is cooperation and completion. Okay, cooperation and completion. And then we have adaptable and opportunistic. Okay, then we have transformation and change. Those are the energies for this week. So there are definitely going to be people, especially on a social level and a political level, that are going to have to cooperate with what's happening, especially those who are already in power, like senators and house members who don't agree or voted against, you know, certain the votes being certified and stuff like that, but still, you know, ultimately understand that they don't have a case into reversing it. So there is this cooperation energy that is still happening there, but only because they have to. There is this kind of sneaky energy going on, and this is what I'm talking about. This is like the worst nightmare kind of energy that's going on. It's just like this creeping in, being funny, you know, talking a little bit differently. There's like reading in between the lines energy. It's just, I don't like it. I don't like this energy. It's not straightforward enough for me. It is very, very like, it's too sneaky. Like my inner Scorpio, you know, energies are like, no, no, no. Like, come at me correct. Like, that's literally the way that I'm reacting to it. Because I can feel it coming a mile away, and I just feel like it's super sneaky. Like, people are going to be trying it this week. And then we have this transformation and change, and I do feel like that energy is coming through, and that's kind of the thing here. We have set intention. We have created a new wave. A new wave is coming over, and a new change is coming. And so we have this huge societal kind of shift happening, one that we've already set intention for, one that we have already planted the seeds. We did all the things, we watered it, you know, Biden won, all of that stuff. And now we go into the journey of starting off this administration. And I do feel like one of the things that's also going to happen, I know Biden said he was going to start doing like a whole bunch of what's it called, executive orders and stuff like that right from the bat, because it's just a lot of stuff that has to get done. And I do feel that there is a strength shift that's happening once that, you know, everything's kind of starts rolling through. I do feel like there is this kind of, no, we need to get this done. We need to show strength. We need to refocus. We need to like move away from the nightmare. We need to move away from the past, all of the things that have been, you know, happening and itching away. You know, there's a reason why the monster in here is like this orange color. Okay, it connects to not only, and because it's orange and yellow, it connects to that sacral space, and it also connects to that womb space, the monster we have created. Okay, because there's definitely people who voted for Trump before, and who, you know, they definitely got in power because the electoral college is what it is. But we created that monster. We created that person being able to even hold office without getting the majority of the vote, and without basically doing the bare minimum in life. And so there is this kind of defeating of that monster happening this week, having a sense of justice, having a sense of just trying to recalibrate, trying to have that balance, and then really moving into the next thing and seeing things kind of starting to change. A new tone, new communication, even the way that the news kind of communicates with the people is going to be a little bit different, because again, it's a different administration. They don't have to react in the same way that they reacted in the past. I feel like, and I've said this for quite a long time, the media itself needs a lot of healing, because the media is ruled by Mercury. And so it's almost like, especially because Trump is a Gemini, it's almost like Mercury's energy has been almost battling itself for the past few years, and it's definitely been a hot mess. It definitely, the mercurial energy has been used for both good and ill, but it's just been such a hot mess, and the media has just taken so much of a toll, and so much like hits from people, to the point that people don't believe in the media the same way that they used to beforehand, before this kind of whole thing happened. And I do feel like right now there is this kind of transition moment where it's almost like I feel like they can even themselves breathe a little bit differently, because they don't have to deal with the same monster anymore in the same way. As far as defeating the monster losing that power. So, especially when it comes to the media, like especially when it comes to communication, he definitely got deplatformed and going through all of these different things. So the words are definitely different now, because if you don't have the presidential, you know, videos that you can put out, how are you going to communicate to the rest of the people? That matters. That communication matters, especially for a Gemini. Especially for a Gemini. So let's talk about these cards. So we're also getting magnify your intentions, and it says choose a specific goal to work towards. Your energy is spread among too many ideas. Please bring your focus back to the key intention and let your angels help. And I do feel like, first of all, this card has been coming up for a hot minute now, and I know that you guys know that the past couple of weekly healing circles, this has been the card that's been coming up a whole lot, and I'm not surprised. I think that right now, especially during Capricorn season, is still a really, really good time to try to get a little bit more grounded in the things that we're trying to accomplish and the things that we're trying to do, on not only on a collective level but also on a personal level. What are you trying to achieve? What are your goals? What are you trying to, how are you trying to live your life's purpose? All of these kind of things. What habits, what practices are you doing to help you every day to achieve these things? And how are you specifically focusing on those instead of spreading yourself out over a million intentions and saying, oh my God, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do this, and I need to do that, and I need this, and I also need that, and trying to manifest all of those things at once, versus trying to just focus on the now and what it is that you need to be working right now. And I do feel like it's a time to kind of reel things back in and just focus, tunnel vision focus on that one thing, so you actually accomplish that thing, and then you can move on to the next task as like in that way. The next one is time to decide. And it says, make a decision now so you can move forward. And I do feel like if you have been feeling stuck, it comes down to, again, you deciding on what it is that you need to do. And this is another reason why I wanted to do the solar plexus meditation for this week, because I felt like, especially with having the moon in Aries, it's a time to get goal oriented and then act on it. That is the whole entire energy of Aries. Aries is very, very all about the journey, and it's all about, okay, where do I go next in my journey? Oh, well, I think I should do this. Yeah, I'm in alignment with that. And then boom, you start heading in that direction. You start literally walking in that direction, because that's what Aries rules, the entire journey. So decide to start focusing on that specific part of the journey. You don't need to overwhelm yourself and think that you have to do more than you need to. And like, you know, maybe you have some goals in the future that you definitely want to see in fruition. And it's great to have those goals. Take it from me. I'm a Capricorn with a Gemini moon, so I can definitely be all over the place. But I definitely still have that main goal that I'm like, okay, this is what I am achieving. I'm doing it. I'm working on that every day. And everything that I'm doing connects back to that goal. I'm not forgetting that I also want X, B, C, Y, D, D, D. No. Those things are coming. And that's how I train myself to understand how I navigate the rest of those energies. But I have to understand that I also have to direct myself into action to some capacity. And so you have to decide. You have to say, okay, what are you doing? What are you focusing on tomorrow when you wake up? What is it? How are you going to direct your energy? How are you going to focus on those things? The last one is open your heart. Okay. And it says, your potential for greater love rests on opening your heart. Blockages and wounds from your past will be healed, and you'll be met with the true passion that you seek. I am not surprised that this energy is coming up, because we do have this strength, Leo energy, closing off the reading for us, especially with this week being very fire oriented and having a lot of like fire, a lot of passion, because that is what Mars rules, Mars being the ruler of Aries as well. And so when we have like this Leo, this fire, this Aries energy, this passionate energy, we are very much fired up and trying to direct that passion somewhere. Okay, the best way to direct your fire and your passion is by having an open heart and a properly flowing solar plexus. Because, and if you watched my most recent video on how to heal your relationship with money, you will understand the entire breakdown on how I explained it. But when you're healing through, especially when it comes to money, when you're healing through your energy, it is flowing downward. You have to have an open heart in order to receive it, because money and love are in the same vibration. But that energy flows down into your other chakras, because they trigger different actions in how you receive money, how you manifest money, and how it comes into your reality through the root chakra. So when you have an open heart, you can make changes and have move towards different intentions that are beneficial towards you, that are that trigger your growth, that trigger your life in a beneficial way, where you're not kind of all over the place and feeling like, you know, you're really really scattered, versus you saying, you know what, I know exactly what I need to accomplish this month. I set my goal. I know what I need to do. I'm gonna go out and do it. I know what I need to do, and I'm very passionate. Okay, I'm very passionate about achieving and having that success that I need. I'm very passionate about watching myself do this. I need to do this for myself. I need to do this for my life, and I need to do this to really be happy with who I am as a person. So there are a lot of benefits to you focusing, especially when you're going through this decision phase, okay, and these setting these intentions, into connecting and tapping in with your heart. Because your heart, when you love something, you're going to want to do it 1,000%. When you love something, you feel so passionately connected to it, when you're like, oh my God, you know what, this is what I love to do, you're going to want to do it all the time. This is why, you know, artists love to do what they do, because that's what they love. That's what they're passionate about. They like artists, like especially like musicians or those who paint or photography or anything like that. You'll see them being very particular, and they'll get into the little details of what they're doing, of their artistry, because they're very passionate about it. And that's the point. If you want to do something and you're very passionate about it, then make sure that your heart is open for you to move through those intentions that you want to see for yourself. Now, Archangel Michael, what do we need to do for this week? How can we protect ourselves for this week? What does the collective need to know for this week? What should we be focusing on for this week? Okay. Archangel Michael has a lot to say today. So I hope y'all is ready for the tea. Okay, here we go. Lots of things. So the first one is, it's time to leave in a healthy situation, okay? And it says, Archangel Michael, what parts of my life do I need to focus on more closely right now? Thank you for helping me hear your answers, and for giving me the courage to make healthy changes in my life, okay? It's time to leave in a healthy situation. This is definitely this week, with this very toxic relationship that we've been in with a certain somebody in office, that we are now removing ourselves from. And I'm telling you guys, you're going to feel that shift, because it's definitely going to be a different tone, and you will see that. But also, what other unhealthy situations do you need to leave? Does that include your own habits, in how you have been blocking your passion, and how you have been blocking your own intentions, your own success, and your own life? Are you going to leave that unhealthy situation too? Because obviously it hasn't been working the way that you have been doing it. So obviously you're going to have to try a different way, a different approach, a different type of, you know, goal to achieve what it is that you want to do. So how do you do that? How do you release that? This is when we're having and moving through that state of change and transformation, because we have to release that energy, and then we have to transform through the circumstances as well. Because the way we've been doing it, it just ain't it. It ain't it, okay? Then we have make a commitment. And you see how we're getting this time to decide energy, and then make a commitment? It says, Archangel Michael, as the angel of courage and confidence, I call upon you to lend me your strength. Allow me to commit myself, my life, and my divine purpose. Please clearly guide me so I can fully open my heart to every experience. See, Archangel Michael's just co-signing all of this, because that's really what it is. Archangel Michael is really co-signing everything that I just said. It's just about emphasizing that. It's saying, hey, you need to make a commitment. You need to make a vow to yourself that you're not going to block yourself from your success, that you're not going to block yourself from being who you are meant to be in this lifetime. Because it's either you allow yourself to be great, or you're going to regret it later, and this is going to turn into, you know, one of those midlife crisis situations that are not fun to deal with, okay? The next one is, your children are watched over by angels. And the prayer goes, dear guardian angels of my children, born and unborn, thank you for watching over my children and assuring their happiness and safety. Please guide me so that I know the best way to be a good parent, role model for my own and other people's children as well. this is really important as well, because I do feel like one of the things that we forget when it comes to how hate continues, how ideals are passed down to other generations, how we continue to have a lot of toxic stuff grown into and built into society, it all comes down to those who are born and what we teach them, what we think that is right, what we think that is fair, what we think that we personally um need to pass down to them. And for some people, a lot of people pass down some really toxic behaviors, racist behaviors, really bad views that affect others in really, really, really bad ways. And so we need to make sure that we are praying for those, especially unborn children, because those souls are still very much innocent, even though they have past lives, even though they have trauma from past lives, even though they have went through some other things, they're still innocent in this life as they are born into it. And so as we move through the generations and come in and have all of these different changes and have all of these generations grow up and take the mantle from the past generations, we need to be very, very careful on how we're treating those souls as they enter back in, because we have not been leaving the planet in a good state for the current generations to deal with, but imagine the future generations to deal with as well. So also hold space for those who are very much going to be coming into this world and creating a lot of change and having an impact in this world in the future, because that also matters. Aquarius energy is very futuristic. It's all about upgrading society, moving it into the next stage. And so it is all about that for right now. And I know that a lot has been happening with technology, with especially Generation Z has been doing a lot and having a solid presence politically and even socially with everybody. And so it's really important for us to not dismiss the viewpoints, the concerns, the ideals, any of that of what they're going through, but also the ones that are also going to be coming in as well. Okay, the next one, which literally this card has been coming up like every weekly healing circle for like the past month, I think. And this is pay attention to your dreams. Okay, and Archangel Michael says, thank you for, and the prayer says, thank you for tucking me into bed at night and helping me enjoy a wonderful, restful night's sleep. Archangel Michael, I invite you into my dreams as my teacher, guide, and healer. Please allow me to understand this, and this parentheses describe the situation on a spiritual level and give me guidance. And I do feel like, to an extent right now, we definitely 100% feel like we need to be supported, especially on a subconscious level. And I think that the reason is because there's so much happening. You see how the first card that came out, it's the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is a very, very complicated card because it is a state of the subconscious. So many things can happen and appear in this kind of cloudy state where, you know, you can't really see clearly. You just see different things coming out amidst the clouds, which is very much what a dream feels and looks like. And so when it comes to our dreams, I do feel like our subconscious mind can lead us into so many different directions, but there's a lot of messages and things that need to be communicated that couldn't like be communicated otherwise other than in a dream. I also feel like a lot of people, especially on a spiritual level, will believe more of their own personal dreams versus somebody else telling them something, somebody else intuitively saying, hey, this is what I'm feeling, and then somebody being like, I don't know, and then they actually have to experience it for themselves through the subconscious minds in a subconscious way. So I do feel like there is this kind of need to focus and pay attention to our dreams, because I do feel like there's still a lot of downloads coming in throughout the week, throughout the past couple of months within our dreams. And I do feel like this Pisces season that's coming up this year is gonna be a little bit different than the past Pisces season. I just been having kind of a feeling about that, because dreams have been very, very interesting as of late. They've definitely been very interesting as of late. And I do feel like we're gonna be getting some very specific messages coming through within the next couple of months. I'm just saying, that's just my personal prediction. Now, what planetary energies are affecting us for this week collectively? What planetary energies are affecting us this week collectively? I'll take one more card. Okay, so first one is Saturn, because you know, y'all thought we was done. Never. You see, I wasn't wrong. Look at this. Pisces and water. Pisces and water. I'm telling you, if you want comfort, you're going to have to connect to that water, because what turns off fire? Water. Saturn, straight off the bat. Why? Saturn rules Capricorn, Saturn rules Aquarius. So you do have this essence of time, essence of karma, essence of conclusions, essence of a shift happening, as just so much that's happening within time. This is a very historic time. This is a very legendary time that also is very Saturn energy, Saturn rules. So make sure you're looking at your transits for this, because you're going to want to know how it is specifically affecting you on a personal level. And then water and Pisces energy as well, which I'm also not surprised about, because again, we're getting this call to pay attention to our dreams. And I do feel like if you want to feel like a little bit alleviated from what is going on, what amidst like society, and you're trying to have some escape, you're going to want to do that through your dreams or through any form of art. This is like that type of week that if you wanted to just blast music, dive into a show, read a book, focus on something else, this is a really great week to do so, because that way it will take you out of what's going on, the little hecticness that's going on a collective scale. But make sure you're looking at your past Pisces placements as well, your aspects, so you can see what's going on a personal level, and you're not like caught off guard when stuff goes down and you're just like, what? Well then. So please save this. I'm working, but I want to watch later. Oh yes, it will be. This always gets posted like the next day. It literally takes, because the weekly healing circles always like end up being like an hour or more. It takes like a whole 5 hours for the videos to upload. I don't know why, but I don't know why. So it will be posted on the channel later, so you guys will be able to see that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I have some Patreon and members posts that I have to do for tonight. So I will definitely see you loves in the next weekly healing circle. I hope you have a beautiful one. If you would like to become a member, the join button will be down below next to the subscribe button. And if you're not a subscriber, you can totally subscribe, ring the bell if you want to stay notified anytime I upload. And yeah, I will see you loves in the next video. Thank you guys so much for all of the love and support. I have my birthday vlog that I'm editing for you guys right now, and I recently went to the thrift store and I gotta show you guys what I got, and y'all gonna be hyped. So I will definitely see you loves in the next video. Have a very beautiful night. Stay safe.